I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Oli Fletcher, the CEO of Dubplate Trade. Oli, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Thanks for having us on, Ashton.
I'm really excited to dive into Dubplate Trade. You're doing some interesting initiatives in revolutionizing the music industry through blockchain and NFTs, and I'm really excited to dive into those details. So I would love for you to just kick it off with us for an overview of Dubplate Trade, and then we can dive in deep.
Fantastic, thank you. I guess it would be prudent to start with that in terms of blockchain, we see decentralized applications as the future of not just blockchain, but a lot of industry problems that are facing a lot of people. So we see Dubplate Trade as the solution for a problem with an industry that's not really utilizing blockchain at the moment. What we're trying to do is combine the music industry and the digital ownership value that NFTs bring to the blockchain industry. So what we're doing at the moment is we're building an MVP of a platform, an exchange that allows artists to mint their tracks or exclusive tracks, specifically unreleased tracks, as NFTs, and then an exchange to which they would go and sell these NFTs to their fans. And so those are really the people that we're reaching out to. So at the moment, what you've got is an economy of artists who are creating tracks, and they're putting them as MP3s and putting them on USBs and selling them to 200 people, 300 people, which kind of works. But the problem is that there's no digital ownership. Nobody owns that, so they don't feel like they shouldn't share it. They send it to their friends, and slowly but quickly, those tracks become easy to find on the internet. Essentially what we believe in and what we're trying to do is harness the power of NFT technology to create individual ownership on the public ledger of blockchain, so that people can own collectible individual prints of NFT tracks.
Very interesting, Oli, and thank you for that intro. And there's definitely a lot of issues in the music industry, specifically for artists. I feel like they get the short end of the stick quite often, and you did mention a couple different solutions there, digital ownership and providing more clear path from the fans to the artists. Could you elaborate, being in the music industry, on some of those other main issues that you think are most predominant in the music industry, and how Dubplate is going to provide those solutions?
Yeah, also I think you've hit the nail on the head there. You say artists have had the short straw, like since the 90s, where you would print a track onto a vinyl, and it's a physical asset, something you can own, something you can value, and something that isn't going to be duplicated 1,000 times tomorrow morning. Alongside Spotify piracy and more recently COVID, which has stopped artists actually making any money from playing gigs. Really, the whole reason for this project was kind of empathizing with that and realizing that artists need a new revenue stream. The thing with dubs or dub plates is that they're specific tracks that have immense value because they're unique, they're special, and they're collectible. The fact that they get shared around and devalued because of the digital revolution is, in our opinion, a cardinal sin. And what we want to do is we want to take the technology that's coming out now, and admittedly no one understands it properly, and especially not from industries that aren't so technical. We want to harness that. We want to revolutionize the way that industry works. And we want to ensure that the future is bright for artists who really have had a rough couple of decades. I think the other thing that, as a team, we primarily feel as crypto heads and as techies, is that there's a lot of middlemen. And so, like, our artists have so many different people taking cuts from their music, from their art. And you've already seen this, like, huge success of various different NFT exchanges and artists. Why music should be treated differently is kind of silly. Like, that's the problem we're here to solve.
definitely. And I saw that you're already working with a bunch of underground artists, and there are a lot of EDM artists that are coming out with their own NFT plays right now. And I think it is an ideal time with this resurgence of digital copyright issues, digital. It seems most of the NFTs are digital art, but they also, and what's underrated right now is digital music and digital tracks. So as you're working with this NFT play, maybe you could explain a little bit more about the artists. They create their NFTs into tracks, and then they're able to put them on the exchange. How does that work for artists? What are their limitations in selling their NFTs off? And then how can viewers and listeners acquire those and utilize those?
Yeah, so you've got, exactly like you say, Azealia Banks has a vinyl on OpenSea at the moment that's worth 5 million quid. Amazing, like fantastic. But I think that dApps and the crypto community is actually far more about community and far more about giving power back to the people, right? These massive artists creating huge revenue streams themselves is great, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to build something that's accessible for everyone. So we're going to be creating a platform where you can go through and you can create your own NFT. You can value it yourself. It's at no cost. It comes back to you. Think of us kind of like a vinyl pressing place that's free. It goes straight back to your wallet, and then we'll have the exchange there as well. The world's first NFT music shop. Inherently will have its own audience, but if you feel like it's more appropriate to go and sell on OpenSea or another NFT exchange, then that's your right. Like, it's your NFT at that point. It's built on the ERC 721 platform, so that's that allows you to do whatever you need to do with your NFT.
Definitely, and I love that you have that open ability. You know, you're not siloing them in like they are in the traditional industry, where you're able to sell them through the Dubplate NFT exchange, but also have them on the other marketplaces, which are, you know, they more have digital art, but there also is just a wider fan base on there, like OpenSea or Rarible or other marketplaces. And there is this sort of mini competition between different marketplaces and where the network effect is going to be and where people will be able to see these NFTs and acquire them. And with Dubplate creating their exchange, more focused on the music industry, how are you going to incentivize more users, fans, and listeners for user adoption on the Dubplate exchange and to grow the exposure to the NFTs on your platform in the early stages of launching it?
Yeah, so I think you're right. Like, so we're very early in the stage of our project. We've only been doing this for 2021, right, at best. And so as much as we feel that we have a revolutionary idea and we feel that that is something that is going to fill a hole in industry, we also need to have a number of marketing campaigns that appeal to the right people. So for us, there's like two very clear streams. We've got the crypto side of things, who are like, we understand how that market works and we understand what you're trying to do. And then we've got the music stream, who are like a lovely bunch of people, but they can be very stuck in their ways. And so we've spoken to a few people from the music industry, and they're keen and they want to know how they can help. But realistically, at this stage in time, what we're doing is we're creating a solution to a problem. So primarily we were marketing to the crypto side of things for the time being. We've actually got 3 really big marketing campaigns lined up for following our next round of token sales, which we're really excited for. But at that stage in time, we'll actually have an MVP. We'll have something that musicians and fans can go and touch and feel and be like, okay, so this is actually the value that I get by using this platform. So we're hoping to have that in the next couple of weeks, which we're super excited about. And then fundamentally, we feel that that will help provide the value that the artists need to understand how this can be a revenue stream for them, and fans how they can be acquiring exclusive music.
Definitely, and thank you for that. And yeah, I think starting with blockchain-oriented, crypto-oriented groups to build a foundation is a smart move, especially because the NFT marketplaces do have technical barriers to entry, although they're not that tough, and they are easier to learn when you have a bit of a tech background. I think the crypto foundation is a great place to start. And you did mention the token sale there, and I know that you have the Dub token that you've created within the ecosystem. Can you talk about the Dub token more? Is it required to mint NFTs or to buy the tracks, or how else is it used within Dubplate Trade? And does it create a sustainable ecosystem for Dubplate Trade as a whole?
Yeah, 100%. So the Dub token is really the fuel for this project. We're like three fairly normal guys, other than our like love for crypto, and subsequently our love for music. But so the Dub token was something that we put on pre-sale at the beginning of May. And so all we've done is put 500,000 tokens into circulation. And essentially what this token will have is three primary use cases. The first of which is going to be a governance token. Like, we're building a decentralized app. We believe in that being powered by the community. You have tokens, you can make decisions on what happens on the project. The community is the decision maker. And fundamentally, like, we believe that's the way that decentralized apps should work. The other piece is you will be able to use Dub on the platform as a currency. You will also be able to use ETH. You will also be able to use USDT. So you'll have a number of currencies. We're not saying that everyone has to exchange their ETH for Dub to be able to buy the NFTs. We don't want to restrict the platform in that way. However, that could be something that goes to the governance and gets changed. And then finally, we want a reason for people to be able to stake their tokens. So alongside 10% of each of the NFT sales will go back to the original artist, which is one of the primary things we're doing to help support that artist revenue goal of ours as a business. We'll also be taking 2% of each of the NFT sales to redistribute to token stakers. So those that have held and decided to stake their tokens through our app will fundamentally be rewarded as part of that economy and self-sustaining ecosystem.
Very interesting, and interesting that you mentioned the staking there as well. And you did mention that you have some updates coming out in the coming weeks here. And I would love to just get an overall snapshot and a forward-looking roadmap on what are the major milestones as you continue to launch out the platform between now and the end of 2021.
Yeah, so essentially what we did with our first round of token sales, the support was overwhelming. It felt like people really understood the idea. We had two major things, and that was marketing. We need people to hear about this and know about this. And as I mentioned, that was really to the crypto community because they understand decentralized apps, they understand the blockchain. And it was also to mobilize the dev team. And the dev team have been working away really hard, doing some great stuff. We're now in the integration stage, so integrating our smart contracts with our UI. We are very close to releasing our kind of like first edition of the exchange. And then we'll be iteratively building on that. And as I mentioned, taking advice from the community on how we want to build that. Our next steps will be doing some next rounds of token sales to increase the liquidity as we build awareness. I mentioned we're working with some big names in the music industry to build awareness on that side as well. We just want to make it accessible for everyone. We want to make it an application that music artists can come to and feel like they can use without necessarily needing to know all of the ins and outs of how smart contracts and the blockchain works.
Definitely. And for the viewers, listeners, music fans, and artists that want to get involved with Dubplate in these early stages and start minting NFTs or start downloading tracks, what's the best way for them to get involved and to get more into the community?
Easiest way, jump on Twitter. We're on Twitter and we update every day. We've got a Telegram community as well. So come in, ask us questions. We're very transparent. We just want to talk to people and reassure them that we're doing what the community wants, providing a service. And as I said, filling a hole in the market, but also our website as well. So Dubplate.trade, check it out.
Sounds great, Oli. I will leave those website and community links in the description box below. All the best with the continued launch of Dubplate Trade, and let's follow up in the near future.
Appreciate it, Ashton. Thanks for having us on.